The Making a Difference Award. 7 individuals who've made an impact as exemplary role models have been selected as Making a Difference Award recipients by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association. One winner from each of the AHSAA's 7 classifications was chosen from nominations submitted by the AHSAA member schools and other support organizations. The award was established in 2011 by the AHSAA and the AHSAA-DCA, recognizing an individual in each of the AHSAA's 7 classifications who go beyond their normal duties as coach, teacher, or administrator to make a positive impact in their schools and communities. In Class 1A, Alan Beckett, Winterboro High School.
For Coach Alan Beckett to receive an award of this magnitude represents our community very, very well. To have a person like this in our community constantly making changes and making differences in faculty and staff's lives, students and parents, it shows the type of person that he is. He's a person of morals, a person of integrity, person of character.
He has the students' best interest at heart. It's not about wins and it's not about losses. It's about, are you going to be a better human being after you have met me? One of the things that I remember most is 2 summers ago, our team really needed a good bonding moment. And so most coaches, they'll take the teams to camps to learn. And we went to camps to go learn, but also we also went to a soup kitchen. And at that soup kitchen, the athletes went and helped clean the facility, and they helped serve food to underprivileged people. And so that just taught empathy, and it was just a wonderful bonding moment. Another example, he went on a family vacation last summer, and lo and behold, on Facebook, you look up and he's taken team members on his family vacation as part of their bonding. He's always on the clock and always willing to do whatever needs to be done.
Well, Coach Beckett has affected my life in many ways. For example, he does stuff with his family. He teaches me how to be a man. Like when they go on vacation and stuff, he know how to. He's just a good father figure, and he has impacted my life because he teaches me how to be a man. Like he not teach me how to take care of my family and stuff.
Well, it's great. Anytime the school's recognized, that's exciting for the community and for the kids. And you know, probably good for my wife to know that the number of hours spent you know, with all these kids and taking them home and taking them to the doctor and worrying with them and worrying with them getting a job is recognized. Somebody noticed. It's just always great to see them when a kid is at a low point, maybe academically, and we involve them in sports and get them excited about sports, and then we turn them and they get excited academically. Or it's a great situation just to see them, you know, go graduate high school or get married or go be a success in a job, and just see them start to blossom in high school, and then it's it's kind of a lifetime relationship, and it's just great to see them, you know, throughout their career. Because I think in part, you're a transformational, you know, coach. That's kind of the direction I've looked to go, because it's probably not a situation where it didn't have a lot of history, and it didn't have, you know, we don't have a lot of finances, and we don't have a lot of coaches, but it's a situation. We're in a situation here where we can touch a lot of lives. We can really impact a lot of people that need help. So, you know, people ask, why are you where you're at? You're at where you're at to make a difference. People, it's mission work on a daily basis, and you know, I had a teacher say, Coach, have you seen the blind side? And I said, man, I live the blind side. So I think it's about making a difference in lives.
In Class 2A, Lamar Brooks, G.W. Long High School, and Dale County School System.
I've known Mr. Brooks a long time, and I'm going to give you a little history about me and him. He was my assistant principal when I was in high school. I worked under him at Carroll High School as a teacher when he was assistant principal. I followed him at George W. Long High School when he was before me as principal. So knowing him through all those different positions, he was assistant superintendent of the county schools here when I was obviously as a principal here. He's made an impact on me as well as the students of Dale County, just being around and being the person, the go-to person for this county for many years, and just being able to look up to him kind of like a father figure. He's just a guy that you try to emulate because he's so well respected in our community, in our state, and he's just a guy that's he's made a big impact on me, just trying to make sure that I could do what he does and kind of stay with the standards he set here at George W. Long High School for sure. If I can just meet the standards that he set here, we're going to be okay.
I'm very excited for him. Daddy's not one that he likes to be behind the scenes and wants to make everybody else stand out and succeed, and he's the behind the scenes person to do the work behind the scenes, but everybody else take the glory for it. And so this is one time that he's going to be to take the glory for it.
You never went and asked him a question and expected to get yes as the answer when you asked him. He would always try to look at every angle for every possible person that would be involved to make sure he was fair to everybody. And you know, he always, to the point where he would really be concerned that he might have made somebody mad because he tried so hard to do what was right all the time, every time. And you know, a lot of times that stuff doesn't go noticed. And he was always the person that was the level-headed person in the room. You know, he would be the one that made the sound decision that was going to be the best interest of everybody there. It might not be what you wanted, but it was going to be best for everybody. And you know, a lot of people like that don't ever get recognized. And you know, for him to get this recognition, this should have happened a long time ago. I mean, he's been the same ever since I've known him, and that's been for over 20 years. So, you know, yeah, he got this award this year, but you know, he's always been this way ever since I've ever been around him. So, you know, it doesn't surprise me that he got it, but he definitely deserves to have this.
I've known Mr. Brooks, Mr. Lamar, since I was in about the 9th grade. I've grown up around him. He's been a huge inspiration in my life, as well as a lot of children's life that grew up in Dale County, Ozark, as well as the county school system. Remarkable person. You can see the values he's instilled in his children, who have now become educators, and they're passing on to other children. And just an amazing individual. I've experienced a lot of things growing up, like I said, with him, but I've also seen him in some pretty tough situations. You know, during my tenure as sheriff, we've had some incidents involving the school system where his leadership played a huge role in changing our community for the betterment of the children. And he's just a remarkable man.
I very, very, very humble to be nominated and then to be selected as one of the Making a Difference. There's just so many people that have played a part in me being able to receive this award, and I'm just so thankful to them and to the opportunity to work with such great people and to make a difference in their lives, and to see them in their daily lives and the success that they've had. And so it's just been a really humbling experience to be able to receive this award. It started with my parents, the influence that they had on me of hard work and what the importance of family is. I think that's probably the number one thing that I can that comes to mind with them, is that they always, family was important, and that was the number one thing. And when when our family or someone in the community needed help, then they were always there to help. So I think that's probably where I started from. But probably as far as a professional, I was assistant principal at Carroll High School, and our principal, he saw something in me that maybe I didn't see in myself. But he always encouraged me to do the best that I could do. He always encouraged me to look beyond what was on the surface and look at if it was a student, to make sure I looked at them and to see what the root of the problem was. He gave me opportunities to develop the skills that was needed to be an administrator. And I tried to always remember that, and I always tried to help administrators that I was associated with, that I worked with. I always tried to offer that same kind of help to them so that that it wouldn't just die, that I was very appreciative of Mr. Hicks, and I wanted to give that to somebody else. I wanted to help other people have success in their administrative careers.
In Class 3A, Bobby Tittle, AHSAA High School.
What stands out most about this play, about Mr. Tittle here at AHSAA, is the fact that he cares about the kids. Whether it's academics, whether it's extracurriculars, he truly cares about the kids and he cares about the community. Since he's been here, every program we've had has been through gone through the playoff systems. He's brought every program, he's brought good people in to promote these programs and get these programs where they need to be. And I'm not talking just athletics. I'm talking, we have a robotics team that just went to the world competition. You know, we have all our sports have been in the playoffs, which is something that hadn't been done here before. And that's been done in a quick turnaround. And he's the leader of it. He's the one that's done it.
I was, when I first became an educator, I was a high school band director, and had a love for that. And my principal at the time, Anthony Wilkinson, who is now a principal at Benjamin Russell High School, he kind of urged me and pushed me into administration. And you know, I picked his brain a lot and still do whenever we meet up. But him and had another good friend of mine, Rick Carter, that I picked his brain a lot also. My superintendent, Joe Dyer, picked his brain a lot. But those three, especially whenever I was younger, Anthony Wilkinson kind of guiding me into administration. And I think it's just developing a relationship. Every student is different, and you have to try and figure that student out. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's difficult. And sometimes you may not ever be able to truly figure them out, but the point is that you're there to try and lend a helping hand, to try and be a mentor, to try to guide them in the right direction, not necessarily as a student, but just as a young person. Times and days that we live in now, there's not necessarily a father figure at home or a solid family environment, and so they come here and this is the only family they may know. And so just letting them know that you care, trying to instill those family values, trying to instill those Christian values is vital. And I think that the coaches we have here, I think not just our coaches, but our faculty as a whole do a great job of that. So I was extremely surprised because it is a huge honor. You know, seven people in the state that received this award. I thought that it's just the definition of it, just making a difference. You know, it's a real honor, and it does, you know, it just touches me, and it's something that I will remember the rest of my life.
In Class 4A, Charles McCaleb, Bibb County High School.
Obviously, Coach is very deserving of the award, but it's an award that I think shows just the determination and the years of service that he's finally getting recognized for. The school is better off with Coach McCaleb. We have had positions that, AD positions that he has handled for probably nearly 30 years now, and it's just one of those comforts that you know that everything's always going to be done right and always on time, and got the best interest of the children at heart, in everything he does.
There probably has not been anybody in the last 25 years that was not influenced in a positive way by Coach Caleb, whether it's been as a teacher, a mentor, or a coach, or a friend. I mean, this is huge. In fact, one of the guys you're going to interview tonight, former player and state championship basketball coach Willie Frank, is going to tell you that he's a legend, and it really is true. I mean, I'm a guy from here. Our families grew up together, but outside of my family, he was the most positive male influence on my life, and not only mine, but all the circle of friends I ran with. Every one of us would say the same thing.
I'm just elated for him because he meant so much to me in my development as a coach, as a teacher, and he's the reason why I'm in this profession that I'm in right now. So without him, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Well, I think it goes for everybody's ever coached here before. Been real fortunate that I got to stay here 36 years and retired 2 times and got to come back. So it's kind of special. Some guys said, well, if you get let go one more time, they're not going to hire you back, but I've been hired back. So it's just good for all the coaches back through the years. Always wanted to be a coach, even when I was 10, 11, 12 years old. My lady at Choctaw Sunday at the Centerville Baptist Church was telling the football team the year I was a football coach that she said, you know, y'all's coach used to coach us and coach the neighborhood kids when he was 10, 11, 12 years old. But I guess the first person was LaRon Cannon. He was the head basketball coach at Fayette County High School. The late LaRon Cannon, he passed away last year. But he was my cousin, and they won the state basketball championship, and I happened to watch the game, and that really just set me on fire to be a coach. I really think my players through the years know that my door's always open. They're welcome to call me. I get many that call me on Christmas morning, just saying, how am I doing? Having a family atmosphere and being available to them if they have problems, and I feel like I've always been that way to help them out through the years.
In Class 5A, Rich Dutton, Lawrence County High School.
My freshman year, I wasn't playing football. I quit, and I was around some bad people, and he convinced me to come out and play football again, and that helped me a lot, and it got me around better friends, and people I was hanging with now, they're not doing so well. And I done stayed out of a lot of trouble because I'm busy with football and trying to get a scholarship, do positive things in my life now. And he's a positive person. It keeps me up whenever life's going down for me. Try to stay positive.
Well, it's humbling. It's difficult to say that you deserve something like this, because this is what we're supposed to be doing, and hopefully everybody's at that same chase of trying to make an impact however their environment allows them to. So it's tough to take because there's so many people involved. It's hard to say one guy is deserving of something like this when so many parts played a role in doing the things we're trying to do here. Well, everybody's different, and what I learned early on is there's not a one set rule. There's not a one set mode. Each kid's bringing in different elements to what they bring to us. So just being able to sit down, slow down, and what does this kid need is not the same as another kid, and so far that's helped us here. Man, yeah, my wife, she's allowed me to do all this. We sat on a roof in 1999, decided to go into coaching, and I talked to her. I said, if we do this, there's going to be a lot of hours and a lot of frustrations and friends and enemies, that type of thing. And she has been unbelievably amazing to allow me to give the hours I give to this program.
In Class 6A, Janice Calhoun, Chelsea High School.
Janice Calhoun is an example of what every school needs and what every community needs in order to survive. It's been too long for her to get this recognition. I would have given it to her day one had the opportunity to. I've worked with Ms. Calhoun for 10 years, and from day one she welcomed me into the school. Hey, what do you need? Hey, tell me how I can help you. And that same positive help and assistance goes to everybody in the building, students and teachers alike. Can't imagine the place without her, for one. We still have former students that will come back and give her a hug, happy to see her. Ball games, when we have alumni nights with former teams coming back, they always want to know how she is. Everybody's always looking for her at different events. There would not be a Chelsea High School without Janice Calhoun.
I was very surprised that I was nominated for this. Like I said, I've been here for 22 years, put in a lot of hours, and I'm just very proud that Mr. Trucks and Chelsea thought enough of me for me to represent this award, and I just feel very honored. As a coach, you want to set a good example for them, and you come in and you try to have the morals and the values and the worth ethics to teach them to be the citizens they need to be out in the world, and just to you have your kids email you back and they tell you all the things that they've accomplished out in the world, and how they're proud of the things that possibly I taught, I was part of teaching. But the kids are a blessing to me, is more so than I guess the things that I've actually done for them.
In Class 7A, Alvin Rawls, Buckhorn High School.
One thing that stands out to me about Coach Rawls, this is my 27th year in this profession, and he's been in it longer than I have. And it's easy, especially in this day and age, at the level we have to compete at, to lose a little bit of your fire over time, and that's never happened with him. He's just as competitive now as he ever has been. I think that's evidenced by what his team was able to accomplish this year. He's still just as passionate about, how he coaches his team, how he manages his facility, and everything about his program. So I think that speaks volumes for his commitment to not only his kids, but his school.
I would say he positively impacted my life. He really taught me how to be an adult. Through the softball program, he makes sure once you graduate, not only do you graduate with a degree, you learn accountability. He really holds you accountable for the things you do at the softball program, responsibility. Teaches you how to be on time. He helped me make me a better player to play at the collegiate level, but there's a lot more that he taught me than just softball.
I like to think, first of all, probably my parents. My father was a principal and my mother was a teacher, so I think they influenced me a lot through my younger days as far as trying to get into coaching or teaching, period. They both were educators. My father was a strong disciplinarian and my mother was an English teacher, so kind of a little different on both ends that helped me out tremendously. Also, my college coach, Costa Kittles, was a big influence on me once I got to college and played on a college scholarship at Florida A&M University, and it really turned me in the direction of being a baseball coach. I think it's more of a pat on the back of all the people that I've been around, not just players, but also assistant coaches and administrators and parents. All the people that have been around me and during those days made it very easy for me to accomplish some of the things that I have done. And of course, obviously, I've been very blessed in order to be in the position to receive an award of this nature. Well, over the years, been in it long enough to see it change, and your approach has to be slightly different from one era to the next era. But basically, the approach has all been the same. Show people that you care about them and you legitimately care about them and you care about what you're doing and you put a lot of emphasis on the things that you do, then it tends to make people rally around you. They rally around you mainly because they see that you're interested or you're in love with what you're doing, and you set out a positive vibe, and those positive vibes kind of go over to other people, and it gives me, I feed on that. I feed when I see that people are enjoying it. I see that I'm reaching people, or I'm helping some kid that has never played the game before, and I see them get their first hit. Those are the kind of things that I'm kind of proud of. So I think it's the people that have been around me that should really deserving of this award than me. I'm just a figurehead receiving it.
The Making a Difference Award.